There we go. We're just going to be unorthodox. Hey, everybody. I am having difficulties, and so some things are going to look unorthodox for 30 seconds because of technical difficulties, but we are determined to do this. I really try to bring you professionalism. Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay. I came on earlier, so I'm going to do it the right way. And hopefully this don't kick me out, but you know how we do it. Come on. I need you to share, share, share. It's going to be a great show. Tag somebody. All right, I'm going to be official here. Yes, yes. I will not be defeated because here on Just Face It, we face life victoriously. So I refuse to be defeated. And so we had some technical difficulties. We went through all of this trouble of setting this up because I wanted this to be really, really a special, special show. I didn't even get to come back and put my tag. It wanted to, am I kicked out again? Okay, so if I ask that every now and then, that's because, well, praise God, my camera person is here, cameraman is here, Minister Berwin Ellis, and so we're going to make sure things are right. My guest is here. And so I'm just a little frazzled because I had all these things in my head. But we're back and we're up and we're running. I want you to share the show tonight. We will be talking about brotherly love. Absolutely. The Bible tells us to let that continue. Let brotherly love continue. But tonight, it's special. As you know, my goodness, it's been a week already. A week today. A week ago today, Monday, we all, the nation, the world, those of us locally found out that our dear brother, who we absolutely love, just the gentle giant, many called him, James Murray, who is the pastor of music. So I respectfully call him Pastor James Murray, made his transition. Wow, how time flies. It's been 1 week already today. And so we go back so far, my goodness. And let me just give you a little bit of history. As you know, that Tuesday I did like a choir master checkup, and so a lot of people that knew James chimed in and just began to talk so wonderfully about him and their experiences with him as a musician, as a pastor, as a friend, as a brother, and things of that nature. But tonight, I have his only surviving blood brother here with me tonight, and we're just going to talk all things brother. And so Johnny Murray, as we know him, I'm so excited that he's here. Welcome to the show, Johnny.
Thank you.
We're going to try to make this as professional as possible. He's here. His wonderful wife is in the corner over there. We're going to show her face some kind of way.
Yes.
Eventually. But tonight, first of all, just welcome to the show.
Thank you, Staff.
I appreciate you
Thank you.
coming. And Johnny reached out and said, Staff, I just want to talk about my brother.
Yeah.
And I had absolutely no problem.
Yep.
A part I didn't realize, but this little boy just running around that could always sing. And was always talented musically with the drums. Let's just get right into it, and let's just go back to our humble beginnings, and as much as you can remember. Let's talk about your childhood.
Okay.
We're talking about the late James Murray, and I just can't even believe I'm using that terminology with his name.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now. Let's just go back.
It's so surreal, that my little brother, even though he's bigger than me, taller than me, James was 3 years younger than me.
Wow.
And
now,
so,
I thought you were the baby.
Yeah, everybody did. Everybody thought I was
and
the
you
baby.
was the oldest.
Yeah.
You was just so old folks' children.
Right.
Yeah.
It was James, it's me, my sister Jackie.
Okay.
Gerald, who's passed on, and Audrey, who's the oldest.
Yeah.
And then our mother passed, 20 years ago. But it was just me and James, you know what I'm saying, that was talking often. But going way back, you know, we 60s babies.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah.
born in 66, James 69.
Yeah.
And I can just remember so many things. Growing up, you know, our first train set, you know, racing car sets.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the same bed.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? This is just life. Before there was a music pastor, before there was concerts, you know, we was just little boys playing in the street.
Yeah.
You know, got to be home before the street lights come on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, our mom single-handedly, you know, raised us because our father passed when I was 5.
Wow.
James was younger than that. So we kind of, you know, we did grow up, you know, without dad in the house, but mom, you know, did a great job.
Yes.
Did a great job with us and steering us in holiness. You know, first off, you know, we know the Lord.
Yeah.
We know the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, and that pretty much sums it up. You
Absolutely.
know, we gave our life to him. James was always the little brother. He was always wanted to hang out, you know, especially when we got a little older. And I'm like, no, man, you know, just, you know, I'm with my boys. Go find your friends, that kind of thing. You know what big brothers do.
Right.
But I can just go back, you know, in time and just when we used to play in the bed.
Now, what
under
kind of
the
kid
covers.
was he? What kind of child?
James was
Such a nice guy.
really nice.
Okay.
James was really nice, humble, make you laugh type kid, cuddle.
Okay.
You know, you can cuddle. He'd come and James kept a blanket. James used to walk around.
Really?
Christopher Holden know this. My sister know this. Larry Anthony know this. These are people I'm calling that new James.
Yeah.
Would have a blanket. I mean, this blanket was so. He
Like
would have
a
it on the
lioness
ground
blanket.
like a lioness blanket.
What?
It's 95 degrees outside.
Oh.
James sitting on the porch with his blanket.
Oh.
It's dragging the crowd. It's mopping the floor. It's everything. You didn't touch James' blanket. He for years.
Really?
He kept a blanket with him.
Wow.
That's just something that was his comfort. You know, and like I said, he took it to bed. This blanket, he just kept it with him. I just remember times playing in the bed under the covers. You know, I was telling my wife how it was. We didn't know at the time that our heat was off in the house, and because mom just kept that away from us. She just put like 9, 10 blankets, comforters on them. It was so hot, and we was stuck under the, you know. And it was like things like that. I remember, you know what I'm saying. I just remember just running through the house.
Absolutely.
You know. Music was a big part of our house.
Now let me pause you there because your mother,
Yeah.
Anne Murray.
Yes.
A lot of people that were online the other night said, "Hold up, we can't talk much more about James without talking about his mom, Anne Murray."
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your mom, and then we're going to transition into how she got you guys into music and how did all that come up.
Mom, if you know anything about Anne Murray, music.
It said she was Maddie of the Apostolic.
She was.
Oh,
well, it started before we got
I
to
remember your
Apostolic.
mom.
It was at Holy Cross.
Okay.
Baptist.
You came out of Holy Cross?
Came out of Holy Cross.
Oh,
James
okay.
Porter.
Okay.
You know, and that's when Mom, you know, as a kid, I learned about it, and I can remember vaguely, you know, a little bit about the choir, but I know we was always made to go to rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know, and in that day, people take, you know, maybe a phone now. We took a whole record player and the speakers to rehearsal.
Oh, my
She would take the
goodness.
actual records, play them, choir learning. You got, you know, about 3 minutes to learn the whole song, especially with musicians. But at Holy Cross, Mom believed in giving everything you had in you in a song.
Yeah.
Meaning projection. I mean, that's why if I ever sing in a choir again, I sing loud, I sing hard.
You
I
can find
sing
a choir.
forceful. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But she always had a strong tenor section. I remember 5 tenors in her choir, and it sounded like 35.
Wow.
Because she just believed in just giving God everything. Give him your all. Sing the best you know how to sing. Don't half step. And she taught us that. You know, when you sing, don't try to sing that so much you rehearse, and that's the way you're going to stay. Sing outside the box. You know, reach notes you think you can't reach. And she always, come on. Get up there. You know, and when you get there, she wants you to stay there. You know, that's just how she pushed you. She pushed you from she sat in the middle of the church when she stopped directing, but you were keying on her because of that energy. But it came, you know, our young, when we were kids, we would literally sit on the floor on our stomachs, and you know, you got your feet in the air, and we would listen to records all the time until we learned. Now, James and I were Clark Sisters fanatics.
Yeah.
You couldn't say anything about the Clark Sisters, and I mean, we go back to Clark Sisters songs that a lot of people don't know. Songs like Patience, like. You know, what did they do at the end of Patience? We had dissect the song. You hear that run? She did. And Karen said this. That's how me and James started singing. He would do something, then I would try to undertone what he do and echo him and hit echo it. We was learning this back in the 70s.
Now, when did your mother discover that you all could sing? Or when did y'all discover that you could sing?
I think there was, when I got really interested in it, once again, it's another Maddie Clark album. It was on my way out the door, and she said, "Johnny, it's a song I want." No, I was walking out, and she was playing "He's in This Place," a song called "He's in This Place." Twinkie was leading it, and I was like, "Who was that?" Because I love the runs. And when I heard that run, I got stuck, and I came back and listened to the whole song. She said, "You think she can sing? Listen to her sister." It was Karen, and James got hooked on Karen and her style. So that's when we started humming around the house, and James had to be 8, 9 years old. Yeah, because I believe I was 11. I was going on 12, and that's when we, you know, just started singing and blending. And
now, when your mother heard that, what was she like? Oh my God, I got some fun.
Yeah, she always wanted. She always wanted musicians in her house. One which she didn't get, and I'll tell you that in a second. But she knew I could play drums. That started before we sang. I started singing. And the way they discovered, it's not about me, it's about James and I. But I have to tell you this. Before I started singing, we was at my dad's, he went to the funeral and got back to the house. And that's when everybody came. They called it the wake, I think it was. So all the kids were playing in the basement. And adults was upstairs. And they heard this beat on the table or something, or whatever it was. And it was, you know, the kids were loving it. So the adults came downstairs and looked and said, "That's little Johnny." And that's when my mom knew I could play. She bought me my first set of bongos. And I went through those. She bought me a little paper drum set. I tore that up. It actually fell down a flight of steps because I wanted to play on the porch. She wouldn't let me. So that's when she knew I had the ability to play, you know, and just started that way. When I got into singing is when we used to hear her sing a lot. And me and James started, you know, like I said, echoing Mom. Mom was singing in the kitchen and do, "Oh." And I go, "Oh," you know. And so it was noticeable to her. Okay, do this. When you do that with Anne Murray, she get excited. Okay, do this. So she'd go, find the harmony. Jane, and we'll just, okay, now do this. Mom, we want to go outside and play. We weren't really interested like that. We were doing it because she asked. But when we started just really listening to just the records and what they were doing, it captured
Now,
us.
when did she put the two of you up to sing? Do you remember that? Was it in Bible study or
it was
something?
It was at Apostolic. It was at Apostolic, because we were too young at Holy Cross. And I want to say it's when they started the Teen Chorale. Because James wasn't in the Teen Chorale. James was in the Youthful Voices. You know, and we used to talk about the Youthful Voices, you know. And me and James, we would sit here and we would make a joke, you know, Youthful Voices, they're so noisy. It didn't make sense, but we just, something, you know, still that we would do. But the Teen Chorale was when I really started really singing, you know, more so than the drums at the time. James was starting, he was more of the lead singer in the Youthful Voices. Yeah.
Now, when did he start the musicianship, the piano playing?
That started...
Because I remember coming over to Apostolic, and we was all half everything. You know, if you wasn't in A flat,
right.
You better call up another musician or something. And so we wasn't no transposed keys and none of that.
James would always watch the organ player. You know, I was so in the drums, one that had the biggest drum set in the church and looked like a rock star and all that kind of stuff. But James would always sit there. And then once I noticed him started picking out stuff and playing, it was like, okay. And then he kept at it. He just really just kept at it and self-taught himself.
Wow. Now, what do you remember most about, when did he really become passionate about the singing? Because Did anybody have to make you all sing, or you just got
No.
you wanted to?
We wanted to do it.
Okay.
Once we knew we had something,
Uh-huh.
we created a group.
Mm-hmm.
We created the Apostolic Sons.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Talk about that.
Memory.
Talk about that.
The Apostolic Sons. I mean, the way we came together, it was always me and James, and we always had to find a third person.
Uh-huh.
So we was just singing, and they put us up one Sunday night. That's when we had Sunday night service.
Yeah, yeah.
And me and James did a duet. I don't know what the song was, and it was like, we still need that. We need that, because we was watching the Winans VHSs and different things, commission, you know, so we know we wasn't going to have a big group like that. We always wanted three.
Talk about the third person. Who was
the first third person was a guy named Gary Martin.
Okay.
Gary Martin, humble kid, nice, but just didn't have, you know, the what we was looking for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was so willing to do it, wanted to do it, and like I said, this was back in '70s, so I'm still trying to pull, you know, and James was 11, 12, so I'm the teenager in the group,
right?
So it was like I'm kind of the leader, and so that didn't happen for a long period. Then a guy named Carl Lee.
Okay.
Carl Lee. We connected with him. He was a little older. He came to us and, man, I would love to be in y'all group. Would love to. Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And Carl wasn't the most skillful singer, but he was willing. He was always dedicated.
Okay.
And that's what I liked. I remember one time we were rehearsing. Couldn't get together, so we would rehearse over the phone. I'm upstairs in the house, James downstairs, so we're always the loudest on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, you too loud, so because we can't hear Carl. So we trying to do a Clarkson song, Living in Vain, or Time to Seek the Lord.
So y'all trying to get three-part harmony.
Trying to get three-part
two
harmony.
phones in your house.
Right, in his phone.
Oh, wow.
And can hardly hear him. So James like, come on, Carl, you gotta get, I am singing, you know, but he's way out in the woods somewhere. And so James was like, so we singing and whatnot, and all he hears is me. Next thing you know, I just hear two-part harmony. And it's me and Carl.
What?
And I'm like, James, I hung up. I quit. How you go? I left rehearsal today. So his leaving rehearsal was actually hanging up the phone. And I'm like, so I'm stomping on the floor like, come on, man, pick up.
Yeah.
You know, and things just involved. We had concerts. You know, our first concert, and our biggest thing is what we gonna wear.
Right.
So we didn't want to wear black and white like the choir. So
now, who was the most passionate between the two of you when it came to singing?
When it came to singing, I would say James.
Okay.
I really would. Not because this is his night.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
Yeah. When did it
James,
really get serious for y'all? You know, like, hey, if we gonna do this.
I think it was always a seriousness there. I just think I got distracted. You know, I would get distracted and be like, you know what, man, I don't want to do this no more. And then I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was just I'm older or whatnot. This ain't really going nowhere. But it was going somewhere in our time.
Yeah.
You know, because I was telling my wife how we actually opened up for who we know now, the Winans, were the testimonial singers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You
and that was just just an experience. You know, we first met Donnie McClurkin. I didn't know who he was. He was with the Davis family. It was just this tall guy with, you know, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, so our mind go back to like, wow, when James was here, we would talk about these kind of things. And wow, we really did open up for that. And we had on our burgundy shirt, our black tie, and our black fans.
Yeah.
And
was
we were
ready to go.
Yeah. And we were singing at a lot of that's what it was. We were singing a lot at the church councils.
Okay.
You know.
Now the Apostolic had consuls.
Yeah, PAW.
Okay, PAW.
Right.
Okay.
So we were singing a lot, like at the councils in Grand Rapids and Lansing and Battle Creek. You know, and there's a lady named Liz who actually still have all those tapes.
Oh.
And I can't wait to see her. Yeah, a VHS.
Who's got a tape?
Right? I don't know what VCR is.
Yes.
Yeah, but James, he was being more molded in the singing because the third person that came into the Apostolic Sons, but we had graduated from the Apostolic Sons and changed our name to Conquerors.
Oh, okay.
So we was the Conquerors now,
okay.
you know, and that's when Twinkie came out and the Clarksons came out with the album Conquerors.
Yeah.
So we just liked that name and we went with it. And William Remsen, I don't know if you remember William Remsen.
Absolutely.
William Rosemary,
yeah.
you know, brother. Yeah, Sue Starks.
You're right,
brother.
right.
William Remsen, came and kind of headed us because he was over the choir. He was
another great singer. Too.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. And William is responsible for a lot of the original songs that we did because William was writing. William got James on his first recording at 14 or 15 years old with Dr. Clark. Lord, I Really Need You Every Day.
Okay.
He's on that album. And William wrote that song and took it to Dr. Clark. Well, can he sing? You know how Dr. Clark was.
Yeah.
James went to rehearsal, did it, recorded it.
Wow.
And it's on there, you know, now.
Yeah,
My daughters and them just posted it.
Uh-huh.
And then him and William wrote another song when Mom passed. I Live For You, I Love For You. You know, I Give It Ear to What You Have to Say. It was just a lot. He's done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, listen, everybody. If you just tuned in, I have the brother of the late James Murray here, and we're getting some real scoop, some early scoop on our dear brother James Murray. And so we're just talking about his humble beginnings. I need you to share this show and tag a few people and let them know. Because we ain't seen Johnny in a while. I'm getting his business in a little bit. I'm getting his business in a little bit. But nevertheless, let's go back. When you guys turned into the Conquerors, and now things are getting a little more serious, and now I'm sure you hit Bailey Cathedral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about one of those experiences.
The Bailey Cathedral, I've done so many shows. I call it a show. What a show?
Yeah. Services.
Performance services, ministering.
Right.
We sang there. Got invited to do the Midnight Musical.
Okay.
And we came, and all we knew was Clark's sister song.
Yeah.
So we would maybe take the hardest song and say we can do it. So we went there, no musician, couldn't find nobody to play for us.
Yeah.
Kept our harmony tight,
Yeah.
and we did Pure Gold. Don't be I tried,
Yeah.
like silver in the fire.
Oh, yeah.
And we was working it, and James was throwing his voice, and I was answering him, and I was throwing my voice. The funny part about it is we was singing, and we didn't know, we never practiced the end of the song.
Oh.
We just kept ad-libbing in rehearsal until we didn't know how to come out of it. And we got so excited. We were singing, here you go, how did you go? And just stayed there. Well, I guess Twinkie got tired of it. He got on the organ, did a chord, and was bringing us out. And in the middle of the song, that's Twinkie playing for us.
Oh my goodness!
So keep singing. You know, we got just that excited because she brought us out in that chord, and it was just like wow, it was just great for us.
Yeah.
And then when Karen Clark, she was married then, came to our church.
Yeah.
William got her over on a Wednesday night.
Okay.
We was just stuck, like, oh my God. And then she said our name. You know what I'm saying? They came over to Bailey Cathedral and sang our song. We don't want to sing that song no more. So that just made me and Jay just
absolutely
things that we would never forget. Never
Now,
forget.
did you guys ever want to, as the Conquerors, or just as James and Johnny? Because at one point it was the two of you, right?
It was the two of us.
Yeah, talk about
It was the two of us. Well, this is when I got a little older, and I was living on 7 Mile, and I created a studio, a recording studio, called it Fat Tracks, and I was working in it. I built rooms and a vocal booth and a drum booth and the control room, and I was working on a track. Got a track actually for Maurice Whitsett. And I had it for a while, and back then we would use ADATs.
Okay.
ADATs is a tape-based VCR looking tape.
Yeah.
With the tracks on it. And the track was going and going, and I kept coming up with just the hook. Forever and ever, forever and ever. And the music is just going, and I said, okay, I don't have the gift to write a song. Who can do this? Not even thinking James can do it like right off, but I'm going over the song 100 times, and I recorded my part, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever.
Yeah.
And get to the verse part, it was nothing. Picked up the phone. Said, James, got this track I'm working on. He said, all right. I said, can you come through? Be there in 20 minutes. James came right over. I'm sitting in the, he said, let me hear it. That's how he was.
Yeah.
When me and James get together, we're extremely loud.
Okay.
Loud. My wife over there laughing.
Yeah.
But we're loud in the house. We talk on the phone loud.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell us to project because that's what we're gonna do. And I'll get to the jokes and all that later. So when James came over, let him hear the track. He vibing to it, told him what I was doing on it. He heard it, went off. He said, okay, let's play it one more time. Give me a pad and a pencil. While I'm playing it, I got a deep freezer on the other side of the basement. He said, turn the track up, let me hear it. So, let him hear it, whatnot. Came, wrote his verse, came back. He said, all right, let me go in there and record. Just this quick.
Wow.
I said, you got something? He said, yeah. He said, now I'm going to leave the first one open. I'm going to do the second time. Then I'm going to tell you what the bridge going to be, and I'm going to ad-lib out. So it's almost like I'm featuring him, which was cool because, I was adding stuff to the track. I produce it.
Right.
And so we came, and the first track, I'm trying to hear what I think he going to do, the first verse. So it went on forever and ever. Then he started singing his. I shall praise the name of, his range was up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, whoa. And then he did this run. Yeah. I'm like, woo, that's it. And so we were going on with the song, whatnot. And, he was ad-libbing out. We came to the bridge. He did the soprano.
Yeah.
He did the alto and left the bottom for me.
Okay.
Now is the time and this is the place to seek not his hand, but to seek his holy face.
Wow.
And we're just going on and whatnot.
Wow.
And then after that, we found a guy who kind of sounded like Tupac.
Yeah.
And he rapped right after that.
Okay.
And put his taste on it and whatnot. And James told him what to say at the end because the guy was saying something else. James said, no, this is our song. He said, say, giving them praise with Johnny and James.
Oh.
And I said, James, you sure? That ain't. He said, no, I know what I'm doing because this guy, okay.
He was in the mode.
Yeah, he was in the mode.
Yeah.
And when they came together, he told me my verse. And I actually sang the same thing he did, but just on a more calmer and whatnot. And that was the song that I have in the computer that I've never released.
Well, let's pause.
People heard it.
Let's pause right there.
Yeah.
Everybody, I need you to share. I got Johnny Murray, and we're talking about his wonderful, wonderful brother. Learning some things about James Murray. And tonight I am super honored because we're getting ready to hear a song that they recorded how long ago?
Oh.
Set this up. How long?
Well, this was, I don't know if the date is in here, but it had to be early 80s.
Okay.
Early 80s, yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And it's not mixed, because we didn't get to that point. It was
It's
just
all
like
raw.
But
It's raw.
it's a raw,
Okay.
but
We're going to play a little bit of it, everybody.
yeah.
And so let's go ahead
Okay.
and play that.
All right.
Trust me, we kind of rigged this, and we pray it comes across for you. So at this time, tell us the name of the song.
The name is called Forever and Ever.
Forever, and it's featuring
It's featuring James.
James.
Yeah,
Okay.
my brother.
James wrote this in 30 seconds on the freezer.
Yeah. It took me forever to do my part, but here we go.
This
And
is
it was called According to James and John.
Okay.
And this is the next group.
Okay.
Here we go.
Plenty of groups. Okay. Let's give a listen.
Yeah.
That song that he did,
Yep.
in case you guys just tuned in, that was the late James Murray on a recording with his brother more than 30 years ago. And he talked about, I'm so sorry. He talked about being a praiser. I'm so sorry. He talked about being a praiser even then. And those of us that are here, wow, it just kind of brought some things home. That's such a great talent. Just discovered in spurts.
Yeah.
Discovered in spurts. I mean, he's on many recordings. Thank God for Carl B. Phillips that saw enough in his final some months ago. Heaven Help Us All was his last recording. And I understand a couple other people have done some things with him that they're going to try to put out. But I feel your pain as much as I can relate, with this being your brother. And just the bond that the two of you had.
Yeah.
The bond.
And that's the kind of difficult part right now. It's been a week. And I know James and I would have talked 2-3 times in a week, you know what I'm saying? It's just what we did. You know?
What will you miss most about him?
James taught me, and I'm the oldest, but James taught me how to love my wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He never said do this, do that. I watched how he honored Crystal.
Yes, he did.
He honored her.
Yes.
And that wasn't right. There wasn't one time when James got up, he out ministering, singing, that he wouldn't mention her.
Absolutely.
You know, and I learned from that. I watched my brother do small things, help his wife with her coat on. You know, because I was that guy that I had to have a father, I didn't see it, and you know, the other guys I was looking at, they didn't have a wife. And I have to credit actually 2 people, James and Marty, Pastor Marty. You know, and Marty probably don't even know this. No disrespect saying Marty, but we grew up little.
Absolutely.
And I watched him greet his wife between services one day. People were greeting, and I said to myself, he rode here with her. Why he greeting her?
Yeah.
You know, but when he came across her path, he greeted her like it was somebody like anybody else. And I sat back and I learned that kind of thing. Let me honor my wife. Let me really love my wife. Let it not just be a Facebook thing. And I know we see a lot of stuff where, you know, and people live to Facebook, you know, but it's like that for real with she and I.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, I've been in several marriages, you know.
Yeah.
I messed up the first one. And I own it.
Yeah.
I've always owned it. You know, I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I've been forgiven, you know, and I repented of that. And so my wife I have now, hey, you talk about a blessing. You know, I've been knowing her since 85. Met her in 85.
Wow.
And to come back 30 years later and see her. And now we're married.
Wow.
Going on 3 years in
But
November.
you needed to learn.
I had to learn.
Yeah. And so your brother was very interesting.
James taught me how, I wouldn't say how to be a leader, but he taught me how to submit. And I always say age, because maybe somebody could say, well, you're the oldest, you're supposed to be the... It let me know it has nothing to do with the number. Yeah. James was the music pastor. I was the praise and worship leader for 17 years at Apostolic. And I mean, praise and worship was like stratosphere atmosphere. And James would always say, great job, John. Pulled me to the side one time at my mom's house and spoke in my life. And it was just like, man, that's the big brother right now. And it made me just charge. He said, Johnny, always give God your most. Always give him the best thing you can give him. And you do that. Go hard for him, man. Because he go hard for us. Absolutely. You know, and even though, you know, I was the worship leader, I never took my, man, we gonna do this. I always, he said, Johnny, I need you to do this, set this program up, do 2 songs, let's get it. I submitted to that.
You gotta respect
I respect it. You know, it's what he said. Well, let's do that. No. He, you know, said, and so I let him. He was the authority in that position, and I submitted to that. And that's why, you know, I say my little brother taught me.
Wow.
He taught me.
Wow.
And James just love.
Wow. Now, what legacy will he leave?
I think James' legacy.
Because he's got wonderful children.
Yeah.
I know the baby, or James Jr.
James
just
Jr.
recorded something.
Yeah. Can sing.
Yeah, he can go too. He can go too.
And Justin playing
yeah,
drums.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think his legacy would be, well, to me, just if you're gonna do it for real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're gonna go hard, go hard.
Yeah.
He would say skillet, because that's how we would just talk to each other. You know, what's up, broski? What up, home skillet? Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you serving God today?
Uh-huh.
I'm serving him every day. Ha 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 ha. You know, we'd just laugh, whatnot. But it was just little nuggets like that to say,
Yeah.
am I serving God today? Am I really, am I really representing? And it was just little things like that James would just motivate you without motivating you.
Yeah.
Or not trying to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to bring this up because of the times that we're living in.
Yeah.
Right now with the COVID-19. You didn't know that while James was going through that. Those of you who may have caught a couple of shows. We're actually back in July 16th to be exact. Right on your birthday. My mom was right there. We did a show on surviving COVID, and it was 3 musicians here, and we did a show with them, and James was one of them. James, Joe Smith, and Jason Smith, and I called it the J Factor, which was just so. But more ironic than that, you and him had it at the same time. You didn't even know it.
I had no idea.
Talk about that.
I caught it. I'm a Lyft driver. I'm an Uber driver. I do that because I was touring a lot and whatnot, and it was just a perfect thing for a musician. So I had a person get in the car mid-March, coughing. At the time, I wasn't wearing a mask. It was so early.
Yeah.
I got sick a couple of weeks later, unto the point of death. I mean, I went through my wife can even elaborate on it. I got the shakes, really fatigued, high fever. But the thing about it, I have asthma, and it never affected my chest or anything. I never had that part of it. But it got to the point where one morning, I got up. Wife was still in the bed. She was feeling weak, feeling tired. I mean, she was trying to really, just until I got really bad, she was tired herself, really trying to take care of me.
Yeah.
Got up about 6:30 in the morning, went to the bathroom, sat on the toilet, not to be woke, didn't do anything, just sitting there. And I put my hand under the sink, cold water. I don't know why I did it. It was just running on my hand. I said, Meech. Name is Tamitra. So I said, Meech. And I called her twice. I said, Meech. She said, Johnny, what? I said, I'm dying. Meech, I'm dying. And I knew I was dying. And when she came and grabbed me, she said, my eyes went in my head. I slumped over, and it was it. She got to crying and calling on the name, and just it was just. She was weak, and I remember after maybe 3 or 4 minutes, I don't know, something shook me. I said, Bitch, I'm back. I'm here. I'm okay. Whatever I had jumped off on her, because she stood up. She stood up. By this time, I'm standing up, and she's bumping the walls. She's hitting the wall, getting ready to fall, getting ready to faint.
Wow. Finally
made it to the bedroom, and she collapsed on the bed. And when I knew something was wrong, because she's had the flu before, she said, yeah, what is this? What is this? And it was almost as if she's getting ready to leave here. And I told her, the day went on, I said, I got to go to the hospital. And when I went to Providence, everything took place, whatnot. They said I had the COVID. Lady to my right, she passed away, jumped over me. The guy to my left, he passed.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what's all this pandemonium? The guy came in. He saw the lady next door just died. And the guy last night, and my wife got mad because they weren't supposed to tell me nothing like that. I'm just like, whoa, death is just everywhere. And I stayed in there. So ended up getting out sometime in April. When I got home, trying to get better, lost a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying? And I started seeing Pray for James, and I'm like, what's going on? Then finally, I couldn't get in touch with him. James had it. So maybe, I don't know, 3-4 days went by. James called me. And I said, hey, man, what's going on? He said, how you doing? I said, I'm getting better, man. You were sick? He said, Johnny, man, almost died. I'm like, what happened? He said that he caught the COVID. He pulled up in his driveway. And he said he sat in his driveway for a while. He made it to the porch. And he said he rang the doorbell, or either was trying to call. He said that he collapsed on the porch, and that's when his wife and son found him.
Yeah.
And James was so silly when he was telling me once he got in the house, you know, he was like, I told Chris I got $37 in the bank. Y'all split it up. I was like, who says that? Y'all split it up 3 ways. That's all I got. And whatnot. But, you know, we laughed about it and we prayed with each other and we laughed and we said, man, we conquered it, man.
Yeah.
We conquerors, you know, once again, with
Absolutely.
that brother's conversation. And so time went on.
Yeah.
It was good. And we was, you know, he came by the house and
Yeah.
him and Crystal, and it was just
Yeah.
big family, you know, just having a good time. I got the pictures and
Yeah.
and you know, and I just talked to him Sunday,
Oh my.
you know, right after the game. We were,
Yeah.
and so
Because he left a funny post about.
yeah,
Lions.
and that's what right.
Right,
And
yeah.
Cowboy, that's the
Uh-huh.
last picture he posted. We kicked it after that, and then the next, you know, week ago,
Yeah.
I get a call like,
Wow.
I don't get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you want in our closing? Those of you that are here, you're looking at Just Face It. And we've been just talking to the brother of James Murray and Johnny. What do you want everybody to really know and to remember about your brother James Murray? Pastor of music, James Murray.
I want people to know and remember that loving, because this is what James was about, I think, before the music. Loving your wife, men. Loving your wife for real, honoring her. Treating her like you want to be treated because she is the rib. She's from, and James knew that. She came from me. She's a part of me. This is the rib I can put back in my body. So I love myself and I love her. And I think James he was no nonsense when it came to foolishness in church.
Yeah.
He'll tell you in a minute. If it's about foolishness, I'll leave you. I'm not gonna have it. So I want people to remember, love your family.
Yeah.
Love God for real. You know, because James lived it. He lived it. He wasn't. I wonder is he, you know, really about this? You know, outside the walls. No, James was who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could, and I'm sorry for put you on the spot, but if you could sing a tribute to your brother tonight, I'm putting you on the spot while you talk a little bit while you think about that. Everybody, check our pages and you can find out information about the final tribute to James. I know Thursday there will be an outdoor musical at Greater Apostolic on Retirement. Go to my page and you can find all of that information. Or to the page of James Murray. His page is still up. And you can find out information. And I'm just talking a little bit because I'm putting Johnny on the spot right here. But if you could sing a tribute to your brother tonight, because you are a singer, singer. Yes, you can hold it down. And we haven't heard you in a while. People were like, where is Johnny? And he just kind of changed his name.
They probably couldn't find it.
They couldn't find it. They was like,
about it.
that looked like Johnny, but what is that Y name? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll have it back on another show for that.
Okay.
But if you could take a moment right now and just look right into that camera over there and sing a nice, wonderful tribute to your brother.
I can see my wife probably smiling behind me. I didn't even look at her.
Absolutely.
And I can see if my daughter is watching Kyra, she probably already know.
Yeah.
I sing Stand, the
Okay.
song Stand.
Okay.
And it has, I've sung it 1,000 times. It really ministers to me.
Yeah.
Because I know if I couldn't stand, James would help me.
Yeah.
He really would.
Yeah.
He would, come on, brother, I got you.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not putting him in place of.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
James would come on, man, we can stand, you know. And I actually sang it in the car, you know what I'm saying? I always rewrite words and just, you know, whatnot. But yeah, I think that would, because I don't really know a whole lot
I'm
of songs.
telling you to sing it, Johnny Murray. Johnny Murray just trying to get out of a little something.
I think I got the music to it. Maybe that'll help. So you want to
We want it raw. If James was sitting near you,
okay.
and you had to sing a tribute to your only brother, your surviving brother, Just give us a little something. I'm not gonna make you do the whole song, but
right.
just give us a little something. And I know it's on the spot.
Yeah.
And I don't apologize for that.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, this song is would be stand. Because I've learned to stand in it.
Okay.
Tell me, what do you do when you've done all you can? It seems like you can't make it through. Oh, tell me, what do you say when your brother's gone away and you're all alone, all alone, all alone? Oh, tell me, what do you give when you're giving your all and it seems like you can't make it through? Well, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just stand. Oh, watch the Lord see you through. After you've done all you can, you just stand. Tell me, how do you handle the guilt of your past? Tell me, how do you deal with the shame? Oh, how can you smile while your heart has been broken, filled with pain, filled with pain? Oh, tell me, what do you do when you've done all you can? And it seems like you can't make it through. Well, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just, stand. Oh, watch the Lord see you through. Oh, after you've done all you can, I'm learning to stand.
Yes. And you personalized it. Wow. Personalized it. I want to take this moment. Wifey, I don't know if you can squeeze on over. Just come on. We unorthodox. We're unorthodox. We're going to squeeze her next to her husband. Yeah, just come on around. I don't think y'all got to practice social distance. We're going to bring his wonderful wife on as I just close. I should have had her sit here. He might have sung. Go ahead, sweet girl. He might have sung a verse one more time with her sitting here. Thank you so much, Tamitra. This is Tamitra Murray, everybody.
Thank you.
As we know, yeah. And she's been just a great support, of course, rightfully so. And I'm just glad that you're still here. That God has just healed the both of you to still be here with us today. And Johnny, thank you so much for reaching out and wanting to talk about wonderful things about your brother James. And I'm telling you, people across the board absolutely miss him. And so we here at Just Face It send our deepest condolences to you, the family. And there is such a wonderful outpour of love from just all parts. You know, with people just saying he was such a gentle giant. And I even say I forgot that that James used to deliver to my job, Delta Airlines. And so when people saw the post of him, it was like, yes, we remember him. He was such a nice guy. I mean, and what's wonderful when people see you is that the sentiments are the same. You know, everybody always said that he was just a nice, wonderful, super talented guy. This is just, I say gone too soon, and we all say that, but God knows best. And we have to just trust and believe that, you know, what he did, he meant. But for the saints, it's a time to rejoice because we will see him again. We will see him again. Is there anything you want to say before I close this?
Just want to say, keep the family in prayer. And I know, you know, it comes without saying, you know, especially Crystal. You know, my sister in love. We don't use the law thing. And my nephews, you know what I'm saying? Just as we embark upon, you know, the activities this week.
Yeah.
You know, Thursday, and the viewing is Friday, and
Mm-hmm.
of course the homegoing is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who wants to see the loved one in the box?
Right.
But you know, it's life.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm learning
Mm-hmm.
to deal. And I just
Final lesson to be learned.
yes.
Yeah. Final lesson coming from your brother.
Yeah.
To be learned. I'm so sorry. I'm just so unorthodox. I didn't have no tissue, no water. That,
Right.
that ain't even my style. I usually try to be prepared, but
One thing I do miss, I have to say this about James,
Yeah.
and I know once the COVID lift up and I'll be back on the road, but I go on the road quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
James will always, I don't care who I'm playing for,
Yeah.
it was always a prayer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, bless my brother while he's out on, I can
Yeah.
be anywhere. Where you at, man? New York, LA, so I'm just somewhere I'm on, on and off stage, and it was always, he's telling people, that's my brother. My
Yeah.
brother, it was never a
Yeah.
jealousy. It just didn't exist. It was
Yeah.
just, so well pleased,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
about, his family. Yeah,
Mhm.
he support his boys.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Love those boys.
yeah, he does.
Love those boys.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just the,
Mm-hmm.
gotta get used to it.
Yeah.
Gotta get to, without.
And I'm not sure if you ever get used to it. I just think time has a way of healing.
Yeah.
And where you cried every day, now it's maybe once a week
Right.
or now once a month.
Yeah.
And then, and I just always say it's the loving arms of Jesus Christ. It's just got you
Mhm.
and it's carrying you. We will end this in prayer. God, we say thank you tonight
Hallelujah.
for the Murray family, and that you would give the Murray family strength on this week as we all gather on any prospective day to remember our dear brother James Murray. God, we know you make no mistakes. And Lord, we just thank you that we've learned that the joy of you is our strength, and that weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And God, help us to live right, that we'll see our wonderful brother again. And God, we thank you. Thank you for all the viewers who are watching tonight.
Yeah.
Bless everybody over and above and abundantly, more than they can even ask or think. And we thank you, Lord, that the blood of Jesus would cover us even during this pandemic time. And we love you. We thank you. And we'll be so careful to give you honor and praise in the name of Jesus by way of the Holy Spirit. And we shout, amen. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank you, Stephanie.
for coming. And it's an open door.
Yeah.
And I hope you do something with that song.
Yeah,
I hope you
I
do
want
something
to.
with
I
that
can get
song.
somebody to produce it. And I don't know how to pull James' vocals out. And
Oh, it's somebody that
Somebody
can do it.
can do it,
It's
yeah.
matter of fact, I was gonna go out with my original outro. Y'all didn't heard that little just face stuff. But tonight, and we're gonna eventually just leave you. But if you could just tune that up one more time for me, because it's hot. Yeah. While I'm talking on out. But this is a recording that they did back in the 80s. And I felt that, and Barwin sitting behind the camera probably felt it too, that commission vibe. Yeah. All right, y'all. They really should give me that song. I think I can get a piece of that. I can get a piece of that. It's right in my key. Right in my key. Yeah. So, thank you so much for tuning in with me right here on the Just Faces Show with your girl, Evangelist Stephanie. I love you. Until we meet again, stick and stay. Hey, it's not a mean man, messed up Monday, but this is the day that the Lord made, and we rejoice, and we're glad in it. We're going out with James tonight, over 30 years ago. It's still hot. And I know we got some producers out there. Contact Johnny. We can make it happen. I'm gonna pray. Yeah. Yeah, while I still have breath. And that's been his mantra, I'm telling you. Wow. So prophetic. So prophetic. Come on, y'all just rock with me out there. Sing us some hearts. Sing us some thumbs up. This is James Murray. Listen.
Praise the name of the Lord from this time forth and forever.
Come on, Worthy.
From the to the going down of the same.
Say. Ah. I'm off script, y'all. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Wilson.
Yeah. show. I know James will go in his basement. The last song he recorded by himself. He said, Steph, I just went to the basement and pushed play and record. Here we go. Bam. This kind of guy he was. This is the after show, y'all.
In the midst of the storm, before the battle was won, it was already won. So when the praises go up, let the blessings fall. This ain't no second-hand praise, I'ma give my all. Because he's worthy of me, baby, I'ma worship God. Although the road ain't always easy, sometimes it's hard. So let's
James Murray, everybody, yeah.
continue lifting up his name, giving you praise with Johnny the J.
Let's go. Y'all rocking with me out there? Y'all rocking with me? Come on, get some charts. Yeah. James Murray, everybody. 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago.
Thank you, Derek Starks. Thank you, Sue Starks, Carol Cole, Christopher.
Yeah.
My children, all of y'all.
All right, everybody. Till we meet again. I'm your girl, Staffy B, right here on the Just Face the Show. That ain't quite right. Till we meet again, everybody. Be blessed.